you're a lot more stable than that person who just went out and got the good job, or somebody who is like, the diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist at white man university. Like seriously, the idea that they can just take it away that fast because the mood of the country changes should scare the shit out of you. It should be the scariest thing in the world. I know it is for me. In my mind, I'm thinking, Lord, I cannot imagine how stressed out people were when they decided to get rid of it. And then here's what happened. So when they take it away, here come the Democrats, pretty much profiting from our pain, right? Now you're mad and you're screaming about it and you're yelling about it and you're saying it's racist, and it is. It absolutely is. I support a diversity, equity, inclusion. I support affirmative action, all that stuff. I benefited from affirmative action. I would never stand up and say that that's bad. But the difference between me and you is I never trusted those people in the first place. But then again, I don't even trust a lot of black people. I trust God. I trust my mother. I have a few human beings in my life I can really trust. I trust me to prepare. And I learned a long time ago that preparation is the key to success. That a little preparation, an ounce of preparation is worth a pound of cure. And I don't know if preparation is really part of our culture the way it should be. Because what would a black culture look like that's built on preparation? You know what it would look like? What would a black culture look like where the motto was like never again, right? I went through poverty, never again. We went through slavery, never again. We went through Jim Crow, never again. We got hit hard by drugs, never again. We've seen our families broken, never again. Like, what would that look like? Well, here's what it would look like. I'm gonna give you a quick layout, and hopefully God will guide me to a way to express this in a way that comes out clearly. A preparation culture would look like this. Number one, as a man, I'm going to be thoughtful about every woman I sleep with because I'm not going to have kids with women that are going to disrupt my legacy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let my penis get me in trouble. I don't care how many men, how many women my friends are sleeping with. I'm going to be very thoughtful about who I lay down with. Um, Number two, it would look like a commitment to education. Me and my children, we are going to be educated at the absolute highest levels, but we're not just going to be educated, we're going to have knowledge. Knowledge is different from education. We're going to be conscious, we're going to think strategically, we're going to think critically about everything so that we know exactly who we are, what we want, where we want to go, and when we're being rope-a-doped. We're going to eat healthy. We're going to make sure that we're not eating what everybody else is eating because we don't want to die or give all of our money away to big pharma so they can give us a bunch of pills and put us in expensive hospitals. We're going to work on our mental health constantly because we've got a lot of generational curses and trauma that we have to overcome. When I decide to pick a woman that I'm going to have kids with, I'm going to also pick somebody who aligns with the values that are going to help us build a solid family, because a solid family that is like building a structure. It's like building a house. And I'm not going to build a flimsy house made out of toilet paper. I'm going to build a house made out of something sturdy, very sturdy. We're going to have sturdy values. We're going to do absolute. We're going to get a counselor and a therapist or whatever we got to do to make sure I understand her. We're going to learn all the tools and techniques that there are to keep a healthy relationship so that she and I can build a real kingdom, have some kids, raise the kids, educate our kids on our own mostly, right? Maybe we send them to school, but the primary influence is going to be us because we understand our greatest investment is not that white man's factory. My greatest investment is those little children who are continuing my legacy. It's me and her incorporated. That's what matters. It ain't Google. It's not Ford. It's not the Toyota plant. No, it's me and her incorporated. That's the business that I want to invest in the most. Everything else is a distraction. What else would a culture of preparation look like? Well, I live below my means. I don't follow behind stupid culture that's being promoted to me on BET, where people are putting themselves in all kinds of debt and financial insecurity, and then they whine and complain when they lose their job and they can't afford to maintain the ridiculous lifestyle that you never should have tried to become accustomed to anyway. No, we don't do that. No, you know what we do? If I make 70,000, I'm gonna live off of 55, right? And then, or maybe I'll get a wife who also makes 70, or I make 50, she makes 50, we make 100, and then we live off of 80, we live off of 85, so that we can have a surplus. What do we do with that surplus? Well, we're going to invest in learning what to do with that money. We're going to invest. We're going to buy homes. We're going to buy stock. We're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we're building wealth as well as the income so that we have complete financial security, which gives us options and flexibility in terms of how to live our lives. Again, this is preparation culture. Preparation culture requires a level of consciousness that is not promoted broadly in the community. That level, remember, preparation is a type of consciousness, because consciousness is when you've elevated, right? You go from like the second dimension to the third dimension. It's like going from the ground to being up in the air, and then now you can see the forest instead of just getting caught up in the trees. You can see 20 miles down the road, like what's going to happen around the corner. You can also see the what ifs in your life. That's in the fifth dimension. So the fifth dimension is where you don't just see what happened and what's happening and what is going to happen. You see what could have happened, what could happen. You're preparing. That's called risk management. So as a black person, the thing that I think that we forget sometimes, and this is why this passive nonsense and all this integration crap bothers me so much, is that it puts you to freaking sleep. It makes you dependent on things and people that you should never depend on. It makes you more vulnerable than a human being ever should be. I don't understand who it. They have to pull a hell of a mind trick on us to get us to drop our guard in a society that literally wants your son dead, that literally wants your family destroyed, that literally wants you in slavery. If you're in that kind of, if you're under that level of a threat, that to me says preparation is how you get ready for that. You got to be, your head has to be on a swivel. Your consciousness has to be on 10. So I never, so what I don't quite get is, I'm like, you could be spending your time reading a book, but you twerking. You could be spending your time building a business, but you at the club. Why are you high and drunk all the time? Like, you do know Malcolm X told you that the white man will sell you the liquor bottle so he can lock you up for being drunk. You do you know how many men and women have been set up or killed or had their wealth taken away from them because they were in a liquor bottle or hitting on a crack pipe or whatever, like just getting high and drunk and whatever.